Hey everybody, welcome to a weird edition. It's relatively speaking, it's going to be another edition of Art of Arlo Moon. The Mission Show. It's Channel 2 talk. And it's Josh Parker.
Then we're back!
I don't know what we're doing, we're just messing around here. You'll hear my voice, but I'm over here.
We don't get to talk too much, man. You're down in your cave a lot, so this is just, us catching up on current events and art,
You should go back to the aliens, because I think that was a little bit, we could put that on there.
Oh, totally. It's actually legit. It's happening right now. It's
yes.
Fucking aliens,
So he was just telling me something about the bunch of stuff that happened just recently. Some decommissioned defense footage. And on the way home, I was over at my kid's house, and I heard I was NPR, listening to NPR. Actually, there was this guy. So I'm driving down Riverside. He's driving on the left lane. I'm driving on the right lane. And he's obviously, because I was going to pass him or whatever, right? And he was in front of me. He's not driving that fast. He's obviously drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll record it, because I don't know. It might I don't know. Maybe he'll crash or something. Or something bad. I mean, hopefully he won't die or nothing. Right. Obviously, I don't want somebody to die. But he's swerving. He's like swerving into this lane. I'm like, at one point he was in the middle of the road.
Not good.
But by Hilliard, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, pick a lane, because I was going to go around him. And I'm like, I better not even try to pass this guy, because what if he hits me?
Yeah.
So then by like a little bit, we're going down the hills over on Riverside, almost to like, wherever by the golf course or whatever over there. And I'm like, well, I'll get my phone. Maybe I can record it. But then I got stuck at the light. So I'm like, hey, dang it. But anyway, on the radio, I heard this thing about aliens and how the government had spent all this stuff on a bunch of money and millions of dollars on studies. And then I get home, and Josh was like, I don't know how we got into this, but he started talking about all the alien stuff. So
Saturday's like...
just whatever.
Saturdays I catch up on my Google Play newsstand, and it's mostly like science-related shit. Like, I catch up on my science stories, whether it's Elon Musk trying to,
What is he trying now?
Yeah. Dude's like a Bond villain almost.
I mean,
he's almost Bond villain.
He's one of the
status.
few people that is actually achieving something that is you know what? Because everybody else is like, I don't know, they're burnt out or whatever. I don't know what to do. Status quo, guys. Yeah. I give up. I don't care anymore. I'm old.
It's just easier to keep things.
And Elon Musk is like, well, we could do. And everybody's been going like, really? And so a lot of other people have been like, forget that. What are you doing, man? Or we give up. I don't care. He's like, no, we can. We can still do rocket cars.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, I have the money and. Okay, yeah, you did. You got the solar panels, your solar cars now, and yeah, well, I guess you could do rocket cars. What the hell?
So the big story splash today is the Pentagon / Department of Defense, DoD spent $22.5 million for a 4-year study that was headlined. It was started by now retired senior congressman, senator from Nevada, Senator Democrat Harry Reid. Who is portrayed in the movie Casino by the Smothers brother. I forget which one, Dick Smothers or Tom, whichever one, who was incredibly corrupt. You son of a bitch. And
which I'm surprised he was still around, because in that portrayal, that's like a long time ago.
79, 70s, 80s.
I mean, he's still, but like you said, he's retiring now.
Yeah, he just retired like this last session or whatever.
So,
but his
still,
friends,
that's a long time.
He's friends with Bigelow Space, the CEO, founder, I think his name is Bruce or Robert or something like that. And so that was the big contractor that got the money to do this study. But short story, or long story made short, the DoD, they released, declassified a video that this one guy fought really hard to have it out in the public or whatever. It's from 2004. It's two F-18 Hornet pilots they've been scrambled to the USS Nimitz, I believe, and the Nimitz has been reporting on this UFO that they picked up on radar at 80,000 feet and it dove to 20,000 feet really quickly, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? And this has been going on for like a week or whatever, so they scrambled these jets out to see this thing, and that's what they uploaded or whatever was declassified was the cockpit video from one of the cockpits of one of the Hornets, and they actually have the audio of the pilots communicating with each other, and all you see is just this tic-tac looking thing. Doesn't really have a shape, or it doesn't have any distinguishable features. It just looks like a tic-tac or whatever, but it's like rotating. You can make that out. It's clearly not. I mean, if it is human, it's super top secret, like skunk works.
So you saw some of the video on YouTube?
Yeah, I saw the video.
So maybe I'll try to, like, I've never done a link to a video, but I'll try to do it on this one. So that'd be kind of interesting. So then you can reference the link at the bottom, that video. And like I said, I just heard it on the radio. It was kind of a weird coincidence. Like on the radio, like I guess it was NPR. It must have been. And yeah, I come home and then we're talking about this.
Fucking
it's kind of a weird,
man.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's one thing Trump is going to do in a way. Maybe he's just like, let's just release whatever we got. I don't give a crap, considering he just likes to tweet all the time and all the rest of the stuff. He's kind of annoyingly.
It wasn't up to him.
It wasn't even him.
No,
okay.
It wasn't even him. It wasn't even him that.
I was just thinking maybe that's like, forget it. Why even suppress it anymore?
No,
even though that's not that old of a footage, really.
Yeah,
or study.
The dude that fought for the video to be released, he just retired 2 months ago from the Department of Defense, and he's now with that Blink-182 singer, Tom DeLonge. He started this private company in... Dude, he started...
What does Blink-182 singer got to do with it?
I'll get to it. He started this company in, like, 99.
Oh, yeah?
Okay? From, his royalties from, like, Blink-182 or whatever. He started this fucking space company, and they do... It's to the stars.
Are you serious?
Yes! Legit, this dude is
the
fucking...
guy singing Blink-182.
Yeah.
I don't even.
What's my age again? Yeah, man, totally. This fucking kid, dude.
You ever heard the live album by them?
No, I never got into them.
I like a few of their songs, like in the 90s and stuff, the late 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
And it's really childish, funny. It's funny, but it's because their audience is like 15-year-old kids,
19,
or at least it used to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to be a sidetrack, I'm just saying like they're just like dick jokes. Basically, every dick joke you can think of.
Videos
and like, hey, thanks your mom, dad for bringing your kids, and we're gonna make dick jokes the whole show. And then they go back into the song. They play a song.
Yeah.
So going from that to like, we're gonna do space studies and aliens, real serious company.
He was always into it apparently. Like when they would be on the road, when they started traveling, touring. You were in music, you were in bands and shit, so you know how it is. Like you're on the road, man. You have a. What do? Do you party? Or do you just...
even if you party after a while, unless you're really into it,
Yeah, so he bought a book or something. Somebody bought him a book about UFOs. And so, you picture Travis and the other guys driving the van, and Tom DeLonge's dumbass is just in the back reading fucking alien books and shit.
Well, it's something.
Totally.
He'd be just sitting around shooting heroin or something.
But he was like, well, how long is this band going to last? I got all this money. I'll put it in a startup. So he does this fucking startup. But now he's got all these upper echelon retired guys on his payroll that were in the DOD, the NSA.
Come on. Isn't that kind of horrible? Like, I worked for the government. I was the guy. I did all this stuff. Who do you work for now? No, Mojo. Who do you work for now?
Private company. Private firm.
Guy that was the singer for Blink-182.
They don't say that. I say it's a private firm.
No, Mojo, lay down.
They got to keep the
private firm.
They say private firm.
Yeah, because
I've seen them.
Got to save face on that.
I'm with a private firm. It's
I don't know.
To the stars,
I guess.
or something. I don't know. But they're pushing like nanotechnology and the.
Well, nanotechnology, that's huge.
CubeSats.
It's going to be just
all that
CubeSats. What's CubeSats?
The tiny little cube fucking next generation satellites and shit.
Oh. Okay, I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, the operation
nanotechnology, man. That's huge. But it's just cottage industry. Unfortunately, if they could realize a lot of the stuff they wanted to do, which they've been talking about since the '60s,
forever.
In the '80s, they didn't have. I read a book on it, or had a book on it. I didn't read the whole thing, of course. Right? What books did I read the whole thing on? Only a couple in my entire life. But basically, they didn't even have tools to work on it until the '80s.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it was all theory and shit.
Yeah, no, the theories were down. That's how Richard Feynman's how I got into Richard Feynman kind of, because I started studying robotics a little bit. Not that I ever got... Actually, what ruined that one was because Portland State had this robotics group, and I met up with them, and they were just looking at me like,
Who's
what the
this
fuck
dude?
are you doing here? Because there's a meeting. I'm like, oh, there's a meeting. I found out about it online. Went over to meet with them, and then like I was like, I'm just a robot enthusiast basically, and I really liked robots and all this stuff. And I had pictures of all the, I read about some of the stuff MIT was doing, also robotics. Yeah. Anyway, eventually all this stuff led to like this book on nanotechnology, and I was like, I was fascinated and blown away by that. Like, oh my god, it's like, hey, what if they could reach all that? But then Richard Feynman had done a lot of stuff with it. Like he wrote a speech at 300 nanometers, which it's like scratching almost, like it's like dip lithography is what it's called. But basically, you're just scratching into something, into atoms or whatever, a field of whatever. Right. He wrote an entire speech that he used, and it was like saying, essentially, in the future, we're going to start at the bottom, not at the top. Instead of going, hey, we got this thing, and then we make it smaller, and then we make it smaller, and then make it smaller. And eventually, like Moore's Law, they use it for computers, essentially, but Intel is like a mathematical formula. It's called Moore's Law, and then basically it's a cost analysis. Essentially, that was like how can Intel stay in business?
Right.
But I didn't realize that for 3 years later. For a while, but it's like, oh yeah, no, in 2 years at time it's going to be double the speed and all that because they're reducing it and it becomes more powerful. If you can control the heat, that was one of the problems with computers a long time ago.
Yeah,
it's the heat problems. Anyway, so like, yeah, I think that's a fascinating subject. I haven't really messed around a lot of it in long time actually, but that was really interesting. So he's actually doing something with that.
Dude, it's come so far.
Okay.
So
what does that got to do with space though? I mean, some kind of relation and.
It's. Yeah, like
maybe something to do with ships or something, or
it has to do with the big chunk of it is the CubeSats, whatever, however you pronounce them, and the other big aspect of the company is anti-gravity. Like they're claiming all these Department of Defense guys, these retired guys that are on his payroll. He's got some big heavy hitters, big names, guys that have been in the business for like 30, 40, 50 years. They know all the declassified shit. They know all the classified shit. I don't know. They're saying that man actually, the U.S. has like all these capabilities with re-engineered. Is that where you break down something? What is it? Not re-engineered, but
you break down something, put it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's re-engineering.
Re-engineer, whatever.
Well, you have something. Re-engineering, I think the definition would be like something that you had that did something, and then you took it and made it into another process.
Yeah.
Maybe not like night and day. It doesn't have to be night and day because that'd probably be more difficult to achieve.
Well, apparently, like all those crash sites, like Roswell, and there's a few others that aren't as well known or whatever, but apparently they re-engineered these ships or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And we apparently,
whatever they could scrap because then they understand the technology.
There's all these weird alloys that they've come across that they're not on our periodic element, whatever.
Yeah.
And all this other weird shit. And apparently a lot of the UFO sightings lately have been U.S. controlled airships that have anti-gravity and all this weird shit. I don't know.
That's confusing.
But Tom DeLonge took his money from record sales. And instead of doing a bunch of stupid shit with it, like, rock stars go out and buy Lambos.
Well, you gotta wonder where that's going.
He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna start up something. And he started up this umbrella. It was just like Tom DeLonge or LLC or some shit. He just used his name. And that was his umbrella.
It's not an industries, something Tom DeLonge Industries? It sounds more
shit,
like that.
That's the main thing.
Space Industries by Tom DeLonge.
Is off shot from that or whatever.
Tom
that's
Space Industries.
It's nuts.
It's better than, like I said, he just shot it up in heroin and hung out and did nothing.
Yeah.
Waited for the band to be over.
Looked up to a dialysis
They actually, they kind of broke up for a while or whatever, but then they did get back together. They had a new song within the last 5 years.
And he
probably toured again.
He started another one that...
another band?
Yeah, that a recent ex, I'm not going to drop names, but she sent me...
oh, okay.
She sent it to me on Spotify or whatever. It's Angels of Airwaves or some shit like that is the name of the band. So
it started recirculating into the music?
Yeah.
Like, hey, well, I got this company.
It's actually a decent song.
Okay.
It's not,
well,
I'm not
there
into
you go.
it.
I bet Cropper would know who it is.
Probably. For those listening at home who don't know, Chris Cropper is like the music encyclopedia. You are too, though.
No, I know some things. I think I know some
blow
things.
me away,
but-
like the '80s shit. Like you know.
Well, it's just because
I
it's
can tell you about
saturated with
grunge
freaking
and-
80s, you know, and... No, you know, that I thought I did know a lot of stuff, but then, like, even hardcore, I totally didn't even see that. You know, like, I wasn't involved in that scene, I didn't know anything about it.
We saw it.
Then-
I saw it coming. We were excited it was coming out.
Well, I didn't even know what that was, really, because, like, I totally didn't... It wasn't involved, I wasn't exposed to it or anything. So it's like, every time anybody says hardcore, now I know it's different and everything now, but I always think of, like, hardcore punk? Like the 80s, like 80s punk, early 80s punk, you know?
Hardcore metal or...
Well, like, you know, like Black Flag and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, but pretty much...
That's hardcore, though.
Yeah, no, it was a hardcore punk,
Yeah.
though. But then the hardcore scene was, like, another scene that came out later.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Hatebreed and stuff was, like, probably more the... I know that's more of a corporate type.
I always think of Snapcase.
Yeah, but I don't know them, so that's why...
New York.
Yeah.
Fucking New York.
Right. So
Hardcore.
So I thought it was pretty, you know, I don't know, pretty knowledgeable about what different scenes and who was in it or whatever. I mean, somewhat. But yeah, there's always I guess there's always something to learn. So that's a good thing. Once you think you know everything, unfortunately, that's kind of how it can get bad, I guess, in that way.
Well, it depends on the city and the scene you're in too. You can be in like an echo chamber.
I mean, there's like a lot of underground scenes that, you know, if I didn't know anybody that was into it, I probably wouldn't have been exposed to it.
Yeah.
That's one thing about, like, a long time ago, I used to know that different people in different groups or whatever, a long time, you know, and because there's like friends and whatever, it doesn't matter, and you get a slice of reality. I mean, it was kind of like the flea market thing, you know, like I meet guys I work with, and it's like, oh, there's a whole, like, subset of people that are into flea markets.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and you go and okay, well, I don't know anything about this. And you go, you know, hey, well, I like some collectible stuff, you know? And then you get exposed to that, and then it's like, these people, like, live it. They're like, you know, like Brenton, like, 24/7. That's, even quits a job because you can't go on Saturdays.
And when they're not, they're
I'm not working Saturdays.
Or pickers, American pickers.
Whatever. And it's like, but it's like that with every subgenre or whatever, whatever slice of society. Somebody's into something, and there's that group of people that are into that.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely with music, it's like, especially because it's not necessarily like a lot of those underground movements, they weren't like necessarily like mainstream commercially successful in that regard.
Totally.
But they had like a huge following underneath, you know, underneath the society. Anyway, I don't know where we're going. We're just like rambling on tonight. It's
no big deal, you know.
Whatever.
It's like
do some more of it. So maybe at some point, and
dogs, daughters, coffee. You know.
Gonna have more stuff on the side channel. So
it's all
anyway,
about content, baby.
to another day. Since we're like 20 minutes here.